I welcome you to Company and Partnership Law class. Today we look at Unit 2, which is on nature and functions of companies, specifically Section 2 of Unit 2, which is on types of companies under the Companies Act 2019 Act 992. Now the session objectives. By the end of this session, you should be able to state and explain the types of companies under Act 992, distinguish between private and public companies, and lastly, to outline the features of external companies in Ghana. Now, what are the types of companies in Ghana, or the types of companies under the Companies Act 2019 Act 992? If you look at Section 7, Subsection 1 of the Companies Act 2019 Act 992, it provides the following types of companies. It provides that an incorporated company may be company limited by shares, a company limited by guaranteeing, unlimited liability company, and external companies. You should know that any of these four types of companies can be either a private company or public companies. These same types of companies can be external companies or foreign companies. So if you do the computation, you are likely to get 12 types of companies. But the major types of companies under the Act are the ones we have listed here. By computation, as I said, you get 12 types of companies. Now, what do you understand by a company limited by shares? A company limited by shares must be registered with shares. With a company limited by shares, the liabilities of the members are limited to the unpaid costs, if any. What it means is that if a member of a company is owing at any point in time in a company limited by shares, his or her liability is limited to the amount that he or she has not paid for taking the shares. Now, you should know that when you buy a share, it is not compulsory for you to pay all the shares that you have taken at a go. With the agreement of the company, you can decide to pay some part of the shares given now and defer the payment later. It means that for a company limited by shares, your liability will always be on the amount that you have not paid. So in case the company is facing financial crisis, you will be called upon to pay that liability. Now, the next type of company, a company limited by guaranteeing. This is normally what you call the NGOs. For instance, example is World Vision, maybe Infante, World Vision, Action Aid. All these are companies limited by guaranteeing. Now, when we talk about company limited by guaranteeing, it's a type of a company in which the liabilities of the members are limited to the amount they themselves have promised to pay in case the company is winding up. It means that at any point in time, the liabilities of the members, as far as this company limited by guarantee is concerned, is restricted to the amount they themselves have promised to pay in case the company is winding up. A company limited by guarantee is not required to register with shares. And remember, a company limited by guarantee, you don't have shareholders, but you only have members. In contrasting with company limited by shares, a company limited by shares has shareholders who are the same as what? The members. Unlimited liability company. Unlimited liability company simply means that the liabilities of the members or the shareholders are unlimited. Once the company incurs liabilities and it is not able to pay, the personal assets of the shareholders or the members can be sold to pay the debt. Now, you also have external companies. External companies are companies from outside Ghana. All these provisions that we have discussed can be seen under Section 7, Subsection 1 of the Companies Act 2019, Act 992. Now, you have to draw the distinction between a private company and a public company. So, a private company has a distinct feature from a public company. Remember, the point that you're going to discuss is for a private company and a public company. So the Act provides that a private company other than a company limited by guaranteeing is a company which by virtue of its constitution restricts the right to transfer the shares of the company. So if you take a private company, its regulation restricts, the key word here is what? To restrict the right to transfer the shares of the company. In public companies, there is no restriction when it comes to transfer of shares. Now, in a private company, what happens is that if you want to transfer your shares, you first of all surrender the shares to the company. The company will now allow the existing members to exercise what you call their preemption right or the right of refusal. Simply means that the existing members might decide whether or not they want to take up the new shares. If they accept to take, then it will first of all issue to the existing shareholders. So that is the restriction. Now, the second difference is that in the case of private companies, its regulation limits the total number of members and debenture holders to 50. However, in counting the 50, there are certain exclusions. Now, persons who are in genuine employment with the company, or persons who having been formerly in the employment of the company were while in that employment and have continued after the termination of their employment to be debenture holders or shareholders. What this means that a private company should have 50 members or 50 members and debenture holders. However, in counting these 50, if you have some debenture holders and members who are still working in the company or who became members or debenture holders once they were working in the company but they have stopped, those people are not counted as part of the 50. So for instance, a company may have, on the face of it, will have 100 members and shareholders. However, out of this 100, 60 of them are members and shareholders who are still employees of the company or were once employees of the company when they bought shares or gave the debenture. Now, if you are applying this principle, it means that the total number of debenture holders and shareholders of such a company is 40, even though on the face of it you are seeing 100. That's how it works. However, for public companies, there is no limitation. There is no limitation. Now, a public company does not prohibit, or its regulation, the regulation of a public company does not prohibit the company from making invitation to the public to acquire their shares or debentures. However, with a private companies, its regulation prohibits the company from making an invitation to the public to acquire shares or debentures of the company. Now, what it means is that if you are operating as a private company, then you cannot invite the general public to come and acquire your shares. Also, a private company, its constitution prohibits the company from making an invitation to the general public to deposit money for fixed period or payable at a call, whether bearing or not bearing interest. This can also be seen from section 7, subsection 5 of Act 992. Now, based on this provision, can you say that in Ghana, a bank can operate as a private company? The answer is big no. Why? Because per the nature of the bank or the operations of the bank, they accept deposits from the general public. They call the general public to come and deposit money, sometimes for interest, sometimes without interest. So, per the operations of the banks, they cannot operate as a private company. It will therefore be safe to state that in Ghana, all banks operate as public companies. Now, what is an external company? As I indicated earlier, an external company is a body corporate formed outside Ghana which has an established place of business in Ghana. This can be seen from section 329, subsection 2 of Act 992. So, if the company is from outside Ghana but has established place of business in Ghana, it's a foreign or external company. Now, if you move to section 329, subsection 3 of Act 992, it then defines what we mean by established place of business, and it states that the expression established place of business means a branch, management, share, transfer, or registration office, factory, mines, or any other fixed place of business, but does not include any or does not include agency, unless the agent has an arbitrary exercise a general authority to negotiate and conclude contract on behalf of the body corporate or maintains a stock of merchandise belonging to that body corporate from which the agent regularly fill orders on behalf of the body corporate. What it means is that if you want to talk about a certain place of business, then you're looking at if the company is having branch in Ghana, management, shares, transfers, registration office, mines, and other places. However, it doesn't include the issue of agents. Agency will only come in when that agent exercises control or has the power to conclude contracts on behalf of that body corporate without the influence of the external body or the management. Now, if you move to section 329, subsection 4A of Act 992, it provides that a body corporate does not have an established place of business in Ghana, merely because the body corporate carries on business in Ghana through a genuine broker or general commission agent acting in the ordinary course of business as a broker or general commission agent. This provision seeks to establish the fact that, look, you don't have an established place of business even if you conduct your business through a broker or general commission agent. It doesn't make you qualify that you have a established place of business in Ghana. Section 329, subsection 4, paragraph B of Act 992 also state that the fact that a body corporate has a subsidiary which is incorporated resident or carry on business in Ghana, whether through an established place of business or otherwise, does not of itself constitute the place of business of that subsidiary, an established place of business of that body corporate. So they're saying that if you even have subsidiary in Ghana, that subsidiary will not make you or will not constitute what? An established place of business. Now, you also have to understand the key elements of external companies. Now, there are two key features of external company. One, it must be a foreign company or other body corporate. So the company in question should be a foreign company. It must have an established place of business in Ghana. So let's consider some examples. Mercedes-Benz, sometimes we see them in Ghana. But this type of company, it does not have actual presence in Ghana because the ones or the agent that operates in Ghana, they are not main people who are responsible for the act of those acts. However, if you pick Barclays Bank, MTN, Tigo, they have presence in Ghana and they also have a parent company outside Ghana. But when the companies in Ghana take full responsibilities of their decision that they take. So when the agent has full control over the decision that it takes, then the established place of business has been indicated, and therefore one is a foreign company. We presume that it is an external company. By way of summary, we have studied in this session the types of companies that operate under Act 992. We examined the distinction between private and public companies, complemented by shares and guarantee, and we also talked about key features of private company as well as external companies. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.